Welcome to the Hornets Hivecast, presented by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, the official eye, ear, nose, and throat care provider of the Charlotte Hornets. Here's your host, Sam Farber.
Now let's welcome back to the Hornets Hivecast, Hornets wing, Cody Martin. Cody, thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate y'all having me. Thank you.
Cody, the storyline for the last two seasons for the Charlotte Hornets and for you in particularly, unfortunately, has been injuries. And there's a lot fans don't understand about what it's like dealing with them. Let's start with you personally, just what it's been like working your way back from an injury that held you out so long last season and into this one.
You could imagine it's definitely a process getting back and just making sure that, when you miss any, amount of time, especially the amount of time that I've been out, you try to find routines and stuff that works for you, and honestly just building your body back up to kind of adjust to that kind of basically load that you have to, basically have throughout the game and throughout practice, and just kind of getting that routine back in. And you miss like a couple weeks for a sprained ankle, and it feels like you've been out for a while. So it's the little things right now. They're just trying to get back into it. But I feel like I'm definitely trending in the right direction. I feel good. Just making sure I feel consistent and basically just continue to stay with my routine.
In a certain respect, I feel like video games has ruined our perspective for what injuries are. Because in the video game, you're playing season mode, so-and-so sprays an ankle, 2 weeks later they're back in, or you just reset the game and they're magically back to full health. But it doesn't work that way clearly in real life.
Yeah.
As a player dealing with an injury that it's not a torn ACL or a sprained ankle where there's a given timeline that's expected, how do you go about identifying what you need to do and when you feel healthy enough to play full court NBA basketball against the best in the world?
And that's the thing. It's definitely a fine line, because it's a lot different from just going to your local gym and just going out there and being capable of playing. For someone like myself, I pride myself on playing and wanting to play every game and competing and all that. So it definitely, that was another aspect of it that in its own was really tough for me mentally, just having that battle and just kind of, staying with it. And, obviously frustration and all that stuff takes over, but just, still showing up, being consistent, understanding it's going to be better down the road and it's going to pay off. And you just have to make sure that, when you come back, that you're yourself. And even then, when you first come back, that's going to take some time, and which is, understandable. And you just got to stay with it and, just stay even, not too high, not too low, and just continue to stay with your routine and do what works for you. And obviously the main goal is to go out there and be yourself, but obviously contribute to winning and do everything you can to help yourself and your team be in the best position to win games. And I think we're trending in the right direction for sure.
So there is the personal impact on yourself working your way through the injury, and there's the team aspect of it as well. You are hopefully all the way on the far side of the injury bug and have been a consistent contributor now for several weeks here for the team. But other players are dealing with injuries. So what has it been like? Everyone wants to play. This isn't a choice thing. You're rehabbing injuries. Everyone wants to play. What is it like going out there knowing you're shorthanded and could certainly use the services of a full roster, but knowing you got to battle and pick your teammates up?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's part of the game. Injuries are part of the game. Illness is part of the game, things like that. And a lot, you just can't really control those things. So you kind of going to have to have a short-term memory in terms of, and then just going into it with the approach where it's just next guy, next man up mentality, and just understanding that it gives, guys an opportunity, it gives us an opportunity, but also, it is really tough. We're already a really good team, but obviously when guys aren't healthy, we're not as good as we can be and as good as we maybe should be or capable of being. And and more than just a talent aspect of it, or however you want to look at it, I think a lot of it's a chemistry aspect of it. You got lineups of guys who's really never played together. Guys have different roles, maybe different roles than they maybe had prior to the season, coming into the season. Now the roles have changed based on whoever's out, injuries, illness, things like that. So honestly, it's just about guys stepping up and us all improving individually, but also collectively, and figuring out what works best for our team and how to make that flow and how to make that operate within the system. And just finding a way to win and contribute the best way that we can. And unfortunately, sometimes you might have a game plan and you go into it and everything's kind of up in the air because of variables within the situation. But it's just about adjusting and figuring that out as a team and doing whatever that is, whatever your role may be or however it may alter, just trying to figure that out so that we are in the best position to win games.
From a fan's perspective, there is obvious frustration, and I think it's rightful. You know, fans have every right to feel. Fan is short for fanatic, and I never blame any fan for feeling fanatical about anything.
Right.
You want that passion about the team. The line between dealing with injury and success is so fine, and there's so many examples of it. You're looking at Memphis right now. They've played the entire season without several stars. Now, unfortunately, John Morant down for the rest of the year, and they went from a team that was one of the top seeds in the West to basically having a sunken season as things sit right now. And there's so many other examples. Denver, a couple years ago, they lose not Nikola Jokic, but their second best player for multiple seasons. All of a sudden, get him back, stars align, they win a championship. So as a player on the floor, knowing how close you can be, getting just a couple of guys back to success, what would the message be to fans who are feeling the frustration that you are all also feeling in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have, we share that in a way in terms of our frustration with just, guys being out, and not only like, and what I mean by share that frustration is just that we feel for them and we feel for each other where, like I said, a lot of those things are out of your control and you can't really do anything about, and understanding how good we actually are as a team and collectively when we all are healthy. And I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of examples of, great things are worth waiting for. And I stand by that. And I just think that we're going to continue to get better, especially when guys get back. And collectively, I think we are growing as a team in multiple areas of our game. And, we're going to figure that out together as a team. And I think that we're going to continue to grow in the right direction. And I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it is frustrating, but, too many games, too many things ahead to dwell on it. And we just got to figure out how to adjust and take it head on.
Cody Martin, our guest today here on the Hornets Hivecast. It's great to have you back in studio. It's been a long time. Obviously, the injuries, your focus was on rehabbing as it should have been, so we didn't get a chance to talk to you too much last season. And one thing we definitely wanted to was your life, your career kind of changed because you signed a big extension, which to me signals going from rookie level contract to being an established vet and having an established role. Tell me how your life, your career has changed now that you have signed this deal and further cemented yourself as a key player on this franchise.
I think overall, obviously, it's a blessing to not only get your first but your second contract. It doesn't happen all the time, so I'm more than blessed and grateful for that, and grateful to be with the Hornets organization. And it just means a lot to me that I got to do that here as well, and just not only be a part of the organization but the community and my family and everybody that's here and that supported me along the way. It means a lot. And especially, coming from where I come from, it doesn't happen pretty much at all. So I'm very blessed and very thankful for that. But that being said, I also, it just makes me more motivated. I'm still determined and hungry to continue to grow as a player and do everything I can to help this organization be where I feel like it can and should be. And I think that we're going to continue to grow in the right direction. And, I've been all in from the start, and I'll continue to do that. And, there's bumps throughout the process and along the ride, but, that comes with anything. And I'm just going to continue to improve, not only as a player, but mentally, and grow. And the young guys that come in, do my part to help them grow as well. And like I said from the start, I'm just looking forward to it, and I'm still grateful to be here to do that. So,
what does that success, that next step success, look like to you? Is it a playoff run for the Hornets? Is it something individual in terms of an award or an accomplishment that you'd like to seek out? Is it just seeing the Hornets ahead of your brother's team on the standings? What is success for the next step?
I've always been team-oriented first. I've never really been the type of person to think of individual accolades. I think that comes along with the success as your team. And just like with anything, when we grow as a team, all that stuff falls in line. And all that stuff takes care of itself. And ultimately, the goal is to win a championship. I feel like that should be anybody's goal on any team, wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. And that's always my goal. And I feel like that's how we have to approach things and work for. But there's also stepping stones along the way. And I think us, first off, collectively being healthy and doing everything we can, so that we can all get on the floor at the same time. But like I said, those things are out of your control. But the other things that we can worry about is just, the little things, continue to stay on top of your individual game so that when it is time to collectively be together, that's just, second nature for us. And then it's about building that chemistry together. And then obviously I feel like that's making the playoffs, and not just making the playoffs, but making a run in the playoffs, and showing that we are a competitive team. And I feel like that we can, even right now, play with any team on any night. And that's the league in general. But I genuinely feel like we are so detailed and so focused in areas that maybe a lot of teams don't do on a consistent basis. And I think our staff and Cliff does a great job of that, with being consistent in terms of his approach every single day. He doesn't alter anything based on anything else. He's going to show up and be him, and he's going to show up, and we're going to do our work and be consistent in those areas. And I think that's going to benefit us down the road. And I think it's benefiting us now. And I think it's just small things that we have to continue to grow and build on for us to turn that corner. And I feel like we are trending in the right direction.
Cody Martin, our guest today here on the Hornets Hivecast. Cody, you are, of course, a twin. Your brother Caleb started here in Charlotte, now having a lot of success in Miami. There's no question that's happened in the backyard and in practices before. There have been limited opportunities because of injuries for you two to really go head-to-head. But how much do you look forward to those matchups one-on-one with your brother, finally, with bigger stakes on the line than just something in the backyard?
I don't think it matters what gym, it doesn't matter where we play. It's going to be the same approach every time. And, honestly, I've probably played against each other so much it's almost annoying at this point. But we always look forward to it. We always look forward to be able to have the opportunity to see each other and see each other, do what we love and see how much we've improved as players and people. And, we talk every day, for the most part. We just enjoy seeing each other's success, and that'll never change. And but that competitiveness is always there, and us wanting to beat him and him wanting to beat us, that's never going to change.
To wrap it up, we talked earlier about how fine the line is between success and struggling with injuries, and other teams like Memphis who have dealt with it, Denver who have dealt with it and been at certain highs and then fallen to lows and maybe risen again as their players have come back. You've been on this Hornets franchise for a while. You've seen the growth of the talent on the roster. There's some settled stars like LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier, and some up-and-coming stars like Mark Williams, Brandon Miller, and many, many more along the way. How do you feel the talent of this team bears out, and what do you think it will look like compared to the league when all those stars are finally aligned?
I think that we're really talented, and I think that we got a lot of talented guys, and especially the guys that you just named. And the league is tough every night. Playing the teams that we do and the players that we play on a consistent basis is tough. But I would take the team we have, and I would take the players and the stars and up and coming stars that we have any night, and play against anybody and feel confident that we have a chance to win every night. And they're just getting better every year, every day. And I have full confidence in them, and I'm looking forward to see their growth over the years, not only as players but as people as well. And, I think they're going to be really special. And I think that, Charlotte and the community has a lot to look forward to when it comes to that, and I think that we're going to continue even right now to get better as a team. And obviously things have to align, and guys have to get healthy, and and continue to just stay healthy, and that's been the name of the game. But like I said before, it's part of it, it's part of the process, and it's part of the game, unfortunately. But we have enough talent and enough players who I feel like know and acknowledge that that plays a part into it. And, you know, I think that they're building something special here. So I'm glad to see it, and I'm glad to be able to be a part of it. And I'm glad that, you know, for me personally, feel like I have the confidence to look forward into the future with that as well. So.
Well, we're excited to see the next steps of the journey, and hopefully very, very soon all those stars aligned, and you, as always, leading from the front. Cody Martin, thanks for joining us today here on the Hornets Hivecast.
Thanks for having me.
That does it for this edition of the Hornets Hivecast. Remember, the HHC is available daily wherever you get your podcasts all throughout the NBA season, with game previews every game day, reviews every day after, and in-depth interviews everywhere in between. I'm Sam Farber. It's been a pleasure and a privilege having you along, and we'll talk to you next time right here on the Hornets Hivecast.
Thank you for listening to the Hornets Hivecast, brought to you by Senta, the official eye, ear, nose, and throat care provider of the Charlotte Hornets. For more coverage, visit Hornets.com.